Let me tell you about a couple you probably recognize. They both work full-time, sometimes even more than that. They both earn what most people would call good money. Together, they make over $300,000 every year. On paper, they should be winning at life. But the reality feels completely different. They feel stressed almost every single day. They feel mentally and physically exhausted. They feel stuck in a loop they can't escape. And it repeats every single month. Their bank account doesn't look terrible at first glance. But somehow, it never actually feels like enough. Bills keep showing up faster than expected. Savings barely move, no matter what they try, and the anxiety just never really goes away. Then, one small emergency hits out of nowhere. Maybe it's a car repair they didn't plan for. Maybe it's a medical bill they didn't expect. Something small, something normal, something life throws at everyone. And suddenly, everything feels unstable. What makes this worse is they did everything right. They went to school and got their degrees. They worked hard and built stable careers. They bought a house like they were told to. They followed the exact plan society gave them. So why does it feel so wrong inside? Why does everything feel heavier than it should? Why does their life feel so fragile? Why does it feel like one mistake could break everything? That's the question nobody answers. My name is Leo, and I study money differently. Not just numbers, not just income, not just budgets. I study patterns, behaviors, and hidden systems. I look at why people feel stuck even when they earn more. And what I found might surprise you. Because this situation is not random at all. It's not bad luck or poor discipline. It's one of the biggest hidden traps in modern life. A system that looks helpful, but works against you. It's called the two-income trap. We've all been told the same simple story. Two incomes are always better than one income. More money automatically means more security, more comfort, more stability, more freedom. It sounds obvious, almost unquestionable. And logically, it feels correct. More money should solve more problems. More income should reduce stress, not increase it. That's basic math everyone understands. But reality doesn't follow that rule. Something changed quietly over time. It didn't happen all at once. It happened slowly, almost invisibly, without clear warnings or explanations. And most people never noticed it. The cost of living started rising fast. Housing prices climbed higher and higher. Healthcare became more expensive every year. Education costs exploded beyond control. And childcare became a major financial burden. But income didn't rise the same way. It moved slowly compared to everything else. Wages increased, but not enough. Not fast enough to match reality. Not enough to keep up. So something had to fill the gap. That's where the second income came in. Not as extra money anymore. Not as bonus or advantage, but as a requirement to survive. And that's where everything changed. The backup plan disappeared completely. The safety net slowly vanished. Both incomes became essential, not optional. That's when the trap was set. Now let's break this down clearly. The second income sounds powerful on the surface. It feels like an advantage, like extra fuel, but it quietly comes with hidden costs. Costs most people never fully calculate. First, there are taxes. The more you earn, the more gets taken. That second income is taxed at higher rates, so what looks big on paper shrinks quickly, before it even reaches your hands. Then comes childcare, and this is where it gets heavy. Thousands of dollars every single year, sometimes tens of thousands depending on location, just to allow both people to work. Then there's commuting, gas, maintenance, parking, time, hours lost every single week, energy drained before the day even begins. And it all adds up quietly. And then there's something less obvious. Exhaustion spending. When you're too tired to cook, you order food. When you're too busy, you pay for convenience. You start buying back your time. Now pause and add everything together. That second income starts shrinking fast, much smaller than it first appeared. Sometimes it becomes surprisingly tiny, and sometimes almost nothing. But here's where the real problem begins. You don't feel that shrink happening. You only see the total income number, That big combined figure feels powerful, and you make decisions based on it. You upgrade your lifestyle slowly. You buy a bigger house than before. You take on larger loans confidently. You spend based on what looks affordable. Without realizing the risk, everything starts scaling up quietly. Your lifestyle expands without you noticing. Your monthly costs increase step by step, and your commitments grow larger until you reach a point where you're completely locked in. Both incomes are now required to survive. Every single month depends on both. There's no pause button anymore. No space to breathe. Now imagine one job disappears. Suddenly everything feels unstable. One emergency becomes a crisis. One mistake becomes a disaster. That's how fragile it becomes. This is the real trap. It's not about earning too little. It's not about bad spending habits. It's about having zero margin. No room for anything unexpected. You're running at full capacity all the time. Every dollar is already assigned. Every month feels tight and controlled. There's no buffer, no cushion, no safety net left. And that creates constant pressure. Even when income looks high, even when things seem stable, the stress never fully leaves. It stays in the background. That's why you feel broke. Not because you actually are, but because you're exposed. Vulnerable to any disruption, living without protection. So what's the solution then? It's not just earning more money. It's not working longer hours. It's not chasing bigger paychecks. It's changing the structure. You have to think differently. Build your life differently. Design your finances intentionally, not reactively. And it starts here. Build what I call a one-income foundation, even if you have two incomes today. That's the key shift most people miss. That's what creates real stability. That's what changes everything. Cover your essentials with one income. Your housing, your food, your basics, your non-negotiable survival costs. Keep them within that limit, no matter what. Now treat the second income differently, not as something required every month, but as something optional. As leverage instead of dependency. As a powerful tool. Use it to build real wealth. Save consistently without pressure. Invest with long-term thinking. Create freedom over time, not just temporary comfort. This creates something rare today. It creates margin in your life. Space to breathe and think clearly. Space to make better decisions. Space to actually live. And slowly, something shifts. You stop feeling trapped. You stop feeling stuck. You stop feeling forced. You start feeling free. Now, one income can pause if needed, temporarily or even longer. Life can change without destroying everything. You can handle disruptions. You can survive them. That's real financial security. It's not about how much you earn. It's not about status or image. It's about flexibility. It's about control. Yes, this requires sacrifice. Maybe a smaller house than you wanted. Fewer upgrades and luxuries. Less pressure to impress others. But more intention. It won't look flashy to others. It won't feel glamorous online. It won't get attention or praise. But it works quietly, and that's what matters. Over time, things start changing. Your money begins to grow steadily. Your investments start compounding. Your stress slowly reduces, and your freedom increases. A few years later, you feel different. Stronger than before. Calmer than before. More in control than ever. More secure inside. And here's the twist most people miss. You might earn the same income. Completely different. You feel richer inside. Because you're finally safe. Most people never see this clearly. They keep chasing higher income, thinking that's the solution, but they ignore structure. And that keeps them stuck. Income alone doesn't fix traps. In many cases, it deepens them. If it's unmanaged, if it's misunderstood, if it's misused. The system has changed completely. The rules are not the same anymore. The game works differently now. But most advice stayed outdated. And that creates confusion. But now you can see it clearly. You understand what's happening. You see the full picture. You recognize the pattern. That's powerful. You're not failing at money. You're navigating a broken model. A system designed this way. A trap hidden in plain sight. And now you see it. And now you have a choice. You can stay inside the trap. Or you can shift your strategy. Move differently. Think smarter. Start building margin today. Protect your flexibility first. Control your spending consciously. Grow your money intentionally. Think long-term always. That's how you actually win. Not by moving faster than others. Not by earning more quickly, but by thinking smarter. And acting intentionally. Because real wealth is not income. It's control over your life. It's having real options. It's making choices freely. It's peace of mind. And that peace comes from margin, from flexibility in your life, from preparation ahead of time, from discipline in your decisions, from awareness. That's the real upgrade in life. Not lifestyle or luxury. Not status or appearance, but stability and control. That's what matters. That's what Leo teaches. Not chasing money endlessly, but understanding how it works, respecting it deeply, and using it wisely. Because once you see the trap, you can escape it. You can avoid it. You can move around it. Completely. Most people never will. They'll keep chasing income, keep upgrading lifestyle, keep feeling stuck without knowing why. But you are different now. Because now you understand. You see the system clearly. You see the trap fully. And you know the way out.